Pashaparo, Why Not 7. Thank you for tuning. The replay of the Tarot Files. We're about to get into that December 7th through December 13th for you. And we're going to give it to you early, just like everything else you get from Why Not 7. Get it in advance. What you do with it, if it's up to you. Pashaparo. You can join the group on the book. You can join the group on the gram. And you're already here watching this on the YouTube, most likely. Until I get out of Facebook jail. Alright. We're going to get into this. December 7th through 13th. What y'all got on y'all plate next week? Y'all running down on the holiday thing. Every day is a holiday. You should never take it for granted. Never take a second for granted. Nothing's promised. Might wish you had that moment later. All right, let's see what we got going on. You know how we do here. We're going to run through the cards. We're going to take the notes for you so you can see it. And then as the story develops, and then we'll just run from there. All right? It's the Tarot Files. Pashaparo. Why Not 7. Go ahead and share, like, subscribe, notification bell. You can even pause this real quick. Go get you some popcorn, a Pop-Tart. Whatever it is you like. It's all a gift and a curse. Half of it's keeping us alive, half of it's killing us, right? I mean, even the apples, if you ain't grow them yourself, there's something wrong with them too. What I learned is that my body tells me what it needs when it needs it, because it knows what's in it even before I do. So when I separate from a certain food or something and we doing great, I find that it could be a year or two later, my body might have a craving for it. And it's not a weakness. It's that whatever's in it, your body knows it once, even if you don't know what your body's going to do with it. It knows what it needs, and it's trying to talk to you. But sometimes I let my outside programming try to tell me what to do. And I realized that when I let go of that business, when I let go of that paradigm, stuff that I was concerned with eating with maybe before actually became beneficial at that moment. Alright, it's always a perfect day. Everything happens for a reason. I'm so glad I find so much joy in being able to spend this time with you. Let's build. Alright, I'm grateful for every second. Let's go. It's 7:31. So it's 11. All right, so what we're going to get down to is the core of next week. What's going on at the core of next week for you, right? And what we got is the Magician card. Let me get this on the screen for you. Give me a moment. You know what we doing. All right. There you go. Look at that amazing artwork. You know, you gotta be able to appreciate quality of design. So, what the Magician card about, it's the illusionist. All right? The creator, the heavenly father. Okay, the astrological point is Mercury, god of an idea and communication. So, at the core of next week, you're looking at the old card name, the illusionist, and they're used in a symbol and the astrological point, Mercury, god of my idea, communication. It's pretty powerful because so much is wasted due to poor communication of ideas. All right, so I'll put that in notes for you. We're going to get through this real quick. Let's see what else this card popping off with. So, general meaning is quickness and initiative. You know what I'm saying? So, being nimble, right? Hold on, let me get organized here. All right, so quickness. Resourcefulness, ability to persuade others, and luck. You know, I don't know about other people, right? But I feel like if I gotta persuade, you know what? This is what happened. This is what happened. There was a time when I thought learning how to control people, all the sciences, all the technology, and technology is, if you know the etymology of it, it really means grammar. So when I say tech, I'm talking about really like speech included. So the word seduce you and make you, you know, all that stuff. Game, baby, you got game. No, I don't even want to have game no more. Because if I gotta put game on you, that means I gotta waste time and energy to get you to do something you don't want to do. And as a Virgo, that's quite inefficient. Regardless of how skilled I am at it, it means that your compliance is not authentic. So, quickness, resourcefulness. Let's build this notes. And the ability to persuade. Yeah, I'm spelling it wrong, but so what? The ability to persuade others, right? So me, once I got to the point where I knew all the laws of 48 laws of power and the art of war and the art of seduction and the psychological therapies and the this, that, and the other, I realized that if I gotta use that on you in order for you to do what I think you should be doing, then there's nothing wrong with you, and I shouldn't have to convert you. I just shouldn't be trying to keep you around me, because that's a conflict of interest. Because the moment I don't quickly, resourcefully persuade you into the idea, you know, you're unpredictable, which could be detrimental to the completion of any mission. So next week, pay attention to your communication of ideas. You gotta be quick sometimes, because nothing lasts forever. You gotta be resourceful and pay attention to your ability to persuade others. If that's your thing, then keep going with it. Run your score up. But if you feel like you are not persuading someone to see your way, or the way you envision, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just not supposed to be with you on that mission, on that journey. They might be doing something else that's needed in the perfection of the grand illusion. You see? So don't judge them. Allow them to be who they were meant to be, because it's always the perfect day. You did your part when you provided the opportunity. Let's see what else this card is talking about. Let's go back. Let me give you some more views of the card there. Look at that. So we got the general meaning now. We got the events is loss and communication with siblings. Right? Lost calm. I'm gonna put with fam. Right? Now who that fam is, it say siblings, it say your brothers and sisters, but that could be anything. That could be anybody. Right? And it's loss, comma, communication with siblings. So it's loss. You know what I mean? So this is dealing with a loss and calm with the fam. So something's gonna happen. You're gonna lose something. You may be losing something, and it's gonna require you to communicate with those close to you. All right? I just need you to understand that. Okay? So business and work, authority. Go back and check the video we did on authority here, YNet 7. Subscribe. See, the thing about authority is it's never a person. Authority is never the people. Authority is the book or the quote that decides the question. I never want to be your authority. That's why I got bored with controlling people. I just want to show you the light. I just want to show you the light. And then my work is done. Because I don't have no business trying to control you. Okay? And nobody should have any business trying to control you. So look, resolute actions. Volitional decisions. That look like came from volatile. So initiative employee and studies in the high school. Right? So we're gonna put something with authority in the notes. It's got some volatile decisions. I'm gonna just say you got some important choices. You got some important choices to make. Make sure you study. Okay? Because you know, like we do over at the big board pep, you know, the goal is to encourage people to do their research. We need to move quick, but we need to be smart and educated in what's driving our action. So what that means is we need to research. If you into the market like stocks and stuff, or you got some ideas, maybe you want to get involved, you know, come see us. Watch those shows. I'm growing a group. I'm weeding them out because I got a certain vision for the future. Okay? So we gotta go to that higher school. We gotta take things to the next level. That's why you here with YNet 7. Cause we talking about an energetic level that's not common. That's what we base everything on here. The truth is uncommon. All right? So your relationship is fascination and affection. All right? Fascination. That makes me want to look that up. And affection. I want to see what what fascination's real energy is. On an etymology level, because hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. All right, fascinate. Okay, now it makes sense. Fascinate mean 1598, put under a spell. Perhaps through influence. So, bewitch, enchant, spell, witchcraft. So, that's why that energy was sticking out to me. It's of the craft. So put under a spell, right? All right. Let me get you on your notes so you can see where we at. See? You gotta be careful next week. All right, so communication, the core gonna be communication. So far, I mean, we only halfway through, but this is why you come to YNet 7, because you get it all. No shortcuts. Communication and ideas. Something about the quickness, the resourcefulness. We gonna find all this out as we go through, don't worry. Ability to persuade others. Lost calm a calm with fam. I'm gonna put that together because I really think it's about that. Lost calm with fam, authority, important. Let me get rid of this S. Important. Make sure you study. Something about being put under a spell. Fascination and affection. All right. We gotta protect. You can't keep what you can't protect. And if you can't protect your own mind, what could you possibly lose? So this is why this channel is so important. Because it's gonna help you fortify what controls it all. It's not easy. It's not easy. This is the hardest thing on earth. I know it's a lot of other people put a lot of other work in a lot of things, but this is the hardest thing on earth. This is why it's so rare. So under health, pain, person might be in hospital or is visiting a clinic. All right. So psychological characteristics is youthfulness, cognitive process, sociability, creative work, naturality, ability to concentrate without putting any effort. All right. So the advice is believe in your abilities to deal with various problems. Don't stop learning. Never let nobody tell you you're not perfect. Because the moment you believe you're not perfect, you forgive sin. I mean, I'm just telling you what the words are. You might not like it when you hear it. So the warning is shadow, the one side, liar, manipulator, and charlatan. The result is the ability to control destiny, seek for one's goals, and realize what is imagined. So, at the core, someone lying to you. Or watch out for lies and manipulation. It's coming next week. The 7th through the 13th. This is on your calendar. So, don't let nobody tell you you're not perfect. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button. If you ain't gonna let nobody tell you you not perfect. Because now you know why. They've been lying to you all this time. And that's gonna allow you to control your destiny. All right. That's the core. I mean, but don't fret. That sound like any given Sunday. Let me show you the notes. I was looking at the notes for a second. Let me get you up to speed. So we got communication and ideas, quickness, resourcefulness, ability to persuade others, lost calm, fam, something about authority, important. Make sure you study. Put under a spell, fascination, affection. Watch out for the lies and manipulation. Don't let nobody tell you you're not perfect. Oh, we forgot about the hospitalization and clinic. Right? It's pain. It's pain. It's pain. And person might be in the hospital or clinic or might be in the hospital or is visiting the clinic. All right. All right. So we got fascination, affection, pain. Person might be in the hospital or visiting the clinic. Watch out for the lies and manipulation. Don't let nobody tell you you're not perfect. And that's going to allow you to control your destiny. Because I guarantee if you're not controlling your destiny, someone or something else is. That's the mathematics of it. Now, what I like about this is when I look at the card, you know, you see the coin, you see the cup, you see the wand, you see the sword. So that's all the signs right there. You know what I mean? It's the powerful situation because you got all the tools you need. You got the fire, water, earth, and air. You got emotional control. You got everything you need, but the danger is in the shadows. The manipulation, the lies are making you think that you don't. Hold on. Because the number one, the male principle, the yang, it's the pioneer striking out alone, seeking the experiences which will establish it in distinct identity. You see what I'm saying? That's why they gotta manipulate you, because they don't want you to be distinct. Remember that from last week? Remember that? All right, so next, we're going to get into your past feelings and attitudes about the situation. About the situaciones. I'm saying by all means, you know, go ahead and take notes and stuff yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you can get this and you can refer back to it. Or share this link to yourself or others so you can refer back to it, watch it again later in the week, and watch what happens. Or watch it again so you can make sure you know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? For entertainment purposes. Pasha Pyro, Y97. The Tarot Files. All right, 754, 916, 7. It's a good number for you. Now we're going to take it back to the cups. Let me get that on the screen for you. All right. So you already know what that 7 life about. But here we go again. Now, at the core, the card was the Lord of Illusionists, right? Hold on. That was the magician. It was the illusionist. Let me make sure we remember that in the notes. Illusionist. And it was the magician. So now the 7 of Cups, right? Look at the pattern. The old name of the card is the Lord of illusionary success. You see, if you're not careful, you're going to feel like you succeeded, but you'll be succeeding in someone else's destiny instead of yours. So the general meaning is a lot of possibilities, illusions. All right, this was your past feelings. Lord of illusionary success. Okay. So lots of possibilities. And illusions. Illusions. So event is dizzying perspective. A lot of suggestions, though only one is useful. All right. You gotta make a choice. This is where that, what was it, that crazy the volatile decisions you gotta make, right? Only one is useful. So, you know, in the 48 laws of power, it says never outshine your master. So sometimes your choice might need to be to just leave because you can't help but to shine. And you know how that affects others sometimes. So business is virtual. Computer games, manipulation, marketing with video cassettes, good income, fun fare, minor show business, but not television. And business brings good income. All right. So you're going to make the right choice possibly. Let's see what he's talking about here. Multiplication. So you got something going on virtually. That's good income. Or is it an illusion? Because virtual also means like an illusion or not real, right? You might feel like, and this is where it goes either way, because is it your destiny or someone else? Is it your dream or someone else's? You see what I mean? Are you really building what you want for yourself, or are you not? Are you forgiving sin? Minor show business. So you gotta perform. I mean, everything is show business. All the world is a stage, right? So minor show business, I think that's light work. See, a lot of times people make stuff harder than it has to be. And that's only because they didn't take the time to think about it ahead of time. And proper preparation prevents poor performance. It's the 5 P's. I know you're familiar with that. And the Virgo being efficient, it's like, why rush and put in all this effort when you can take your time and make it happen like that? Maybe next week. See what I'm saying? So, in relationship, let me get back to the card before you get that visual. Get that virtual visual. VV. VV. So, relationship with perversion. Relationship overfulled with everything. Love of two, morphiness. A concession to a small weakness. And discovery in those weaknesses, some satisfaction. See? You forgiving sin. Right? In that relationship. Or, not to say you are, because we'll find out what's going on in a moment, but in your past feelings, you were forgiving sin. And sin is a genetic defect. So if you are focused on a goal, a dream, a journey, a drive, a destination, a point, or something you're supposed to be doing, if you have like there's a core formula, right, that produces that success or that result for you based on where you're at, right? That's why you call it a plan. So you gotta stick to your plan. So if you get a virus, it attacks that situation, your DNA, your plan. It corrupts it. It alters it through its illusions, through its communications and ideas. And if you're not quick enough or resourceful enough to remove it before it grows, its ability to persuade others. Let me get you these notes here. Its ability to persuade others might cause a loss of communication with the fam or the authority. That's what happens in the body. The virus, the cancer, it persuades the other cells to become cancerous, and they have a loss of calm with the family of the body, the other cells, with the authority, which is the brain and the heart. So you got to study, and it's important because one or the other is going to be put under a spell, and there's going to be pain, and that person might be in the hospital or visiting the clinic. And I'm going back to that at the core, not in the physical state, but in the intangible state, based on the infection of your goals, your dreams, and you reaching your destination. Watch out for the lies and manipulation. Don't let nobody tell you you're not perfect. You see what I'm saying? Why in that 7? Give me a second here. This take a lot of energy. Some people don't appreciate this because they see you on the screen, you're sitting in the chair, you're talking, but they don't understand. Energetic. So, forgiving sin, that's what happens. Now, your health, right? Check this out. Under the health section, it's talking about light drugs. Okay? Addiction. Intoxication. Hold on. Intoxication. Overdose. You see what I'm saying? When you let someone in and they tell you you're not perfect, why you think so many people go, what? Why you be that? Y'all be at home talking to each other like, nah, I ain't going to the doctor. It's just a little, whatever. I stubbed my toe. It's a little bruise. It's this, it's that. Why? I'm going to be okay. Because you know when you go to the doctor, they're going to tell you you're not perfect. And then because they told you you're not perfect, they're going to have you on the hook emotionally to sell you some light drugs. And then they hoping you find a reason to become addicted so they can keep selling them to you. Right? That means you had to be intoxicated to arrive there. And then they're going to make sure you overdose when you leave. You see what I mean? That's the same thing about your dreams, your goals, and arriving at your destination when you let someone tell you you're not perfect. Give me a second here. Make some adjustments. So when you go back to that core, right? Your calm with fam might have been corrupted because they keep wanting to tell you you're not perfect. And maybe you OD'd on the fact that you are, and that calm was lost. So psychological characteristics is person giving too much promises. Loves to tell stories about his uncountable amount of achievements, which do not exist in real. Creates illusion about himself. You see what I'm saying? Advice is choose wisely. And the warning is choice is very serious. Do not make a mistake. And the result is time of great amount of various opportunities in your life. You see what I'm saying? Hold on, let me get this notes down, and we're gonna look at the cards real quick. Because that very serious choice was in your past actions as well. See, so it's got a great amount of opportunities. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they yours? Are they someone else's? Is it for your benefit or others? You see what I'm saying? Do you know? How you know you're not corrupted? You see what I'm saying? How you know you haven't been seduced? Are you in control of your emotions? Are you really thinking for yourself? Who depends on you? Who depends on the choices you make? Who depends on your decisions? Who does what you think, feel, and see? What is your perspective? Who does that hurt? Who does that benefit? Who are you accountable for? This is why. This is why this is all part of my process, experiential therapy theory. You see what I'm saying? Because we have these experiences, and the only thing that separates us is our thought process. The only thing that separates the KKK from the NOI is thought process. They both trying to accomplish the same thing in their own way. So if you don't have control of your emotions, you're an open book waiting for someone to write their story in. You're a blank check waiting for someone to cash. Your goals, your dreams will never be a priority because you will be under the influence. You will be intoxicated by others. And that you know, how does that affect your how does that affect your ability to complete? How does that affect your success? Oh, hold up. So we got a visitor that wanted to just jump out. Let's see what we talking about here. It's another 7. We're going to get into this number 7 real quick too. All right. So, hold on, let me get this on the screen for you. Man, this is good. It's good. Don't worry. It's always the perfect day. Don't worry. Be happy. All right. So now you got the 7 of Wands. All right. Now you already know your Wands is about your curiosities, your desire, your struggle. Again, what we say, your emotionally exhausted, exertion, your goal setting, your creative decisions. You see what I'm saying? So what the 7 of Wands is about, the old card name is the Lord of Valor. The general meaning is defend of one's achievements. You see what I'm saying? I think that's important because your past actions, right? Your past actions, and you got to defend your achievements. That goes right into what we were just talking about, because otherwise you letting someone else tell you you're not perfect. You got to defend what you've been through. And that's not saying you necessarily... See, when you say defend, that doesn't mean you got to fight. If you know your worth and somebody ain't treating you right, it could be as simple as you just walking away. What you going to fight about it for? That's their illusion. You are the truth. You are there in true form. And if they have an illusion of you, whose sin is that? You see what I'm saying? That's why you see him got the wand, the staff. You know, he on his boat. He got staff. He got more staffs in the chamber, in the magazine, in the clip. You know what I mean? So even if he lose that one, he got other ones to fall back on. It's all good. And he beating the hell out of the alligator, crocodile. He defending his achievement. He's reached a level above the water. And the crab, in this case, is the alligator in the barrel, is trying to bite at him. And you got to defend that. But see, how you defend it is up to you. What is your weapon? Remember, you are what? The magician. You have all the tools. You see, and it makes it so easy when people are emotionally attached to one thing because they don't know all of the affinity. So they focus on one tool, not realizing you have infinite. They focus on one means, not realizing you have access to them all. So they're blind and they don't realize they see not. Now, what happens is when you realize that morally, are you right or wrong to return the energy when you know it would destroy a person? You see what I'm saying? You know it would destroy them if you really responded. That's the difference between responding and reacting. Sometimes it's best to leave so that you don't destroy what could benefit others. Everybody's not on the same level. That doesn't mean that the levels below them don't still need that level to allow them to climb up to. They just can't help you on the level that you are on. Do not judge them for their ignorance, for they do not know, they cannot see. The events of the Seven of Wands is fight with the invisible enemy. Forgive them, for they know not, they cannot see. That's how I'm gonna put this in here. Actually, forgive yourself. Excuse me. Y'all forgive them. In my translation, I will forgive myself because they can't see. And it wouldn't even feel right for me to control the situation because they are at a disadvantage. It's like if you know you're dealing with the mind of a child, do you really feel good when you beat them at a game? I mean, think about that for a moment while I get this in here on the notes. This is your past actions. You see what I'm saying? Does it really boost your confidence to know you beat a 8-year-old at a 100-yard race? And you've been playing sports your whole life? Do you really feel good about that at the end of the day? You see what I'm saying? And this is why every time you let the kid or the woman win that race, they walk away in celebration because they know not how you could have destroyed them. They go to the other people around them and brag about how they won the race, how they beat you, and they know not you allowed them to walk away. So the result is blackmail, defense from the blackmail and intrigues. You see, you gotta fight off the bullshit. Because when they go and start spreading their little talk about how they beat you, because they were too blind to realize you just didn't want to destroy them completely, as the 48 laws of power says, destroy completely. And who better to destroy than a perfectionist? When they go and they tell their little version of the story about how they beat you, you got to deal with the other people hearing that story, laughing at you, taunting you, and teasing you. And you still have to work even harder then to not destroy the situation. Because it is less favorable to you does not mean that many people below them don't support or don't need that level for support. And if you destroy that situation completely, you slow the process of those below them from reaching where you are at. So you have to forgive yourself, because what you're doing in translation is you're releasing the ego from the situation and allowing something to live on that you know you could destroy. Because it's for the greater good of the people, and you have to hear the laughter. You're going to have to deal with the illusions that they come up with. You're going to have communication and ideas. They're going to be quick. You're going to need to be resourceful. Even though you have the ability to persuade them, sometimes lose the communication with the family and authority. Study how to put them under the spell of their own confidence through fascination and affection, because otherwise there's going to be a lot of pain and that person might wind up in a hospital or visiting a clinic. You see what I'm saying? All because of lies and manipulation. So the health problems is causing problems causing threat, weak immune systems, hidden illness, motion. Psychological characteristics is the person in position of defense, suspicious person. You see what I'm saying? Remember, we already talked about earlier the virus corrupting the body, the cells, losing calm with the heart and the brain, and going rogue. Weak immune system. Now see, when they say suspicious person, Virgos know what it feels like to be deemed suspicious. Because we are so cautious. That's part of the perfectionist in us. Our cautiousness makes us appear to others to be suspicious. So when they have their suspicion, and then they have the illusion of others telling them about how they beat you, they start to paint a picture. And that's great for you, because they'll lower their guard because of what they believe you are. Because they can't see who you really are. They don't know the threat of their own actions. Just like the mind of a child. Forgive yourself so you don't destroy what others need. Although you would be right, it would only be satisfaction of your own ego. Allow them to be. Advice is defend one's interests. So this is where it's important. That quote of you can't build a kingdom with someone who still craves attention from the village. If your local minded thought, whether that's a certain, like I said, thought process, you don't see the big picture. Now, if my big picture is the success of generations to come, and the body is not just mine, but the nation's, I have to defend my interests, which is why I have to protect y'all from my ego. That's why I had to put in so much work to do that, because otherwise I would destroy everything and there would be nothing for those seeking to climb up to hang on to. And it would be only because of their own actions in response to the illusions that they didn't realize that they couldn't see. So sometimes you gotta swallow your pride for the success of the body. The warning is you don't know your enemy's facility or facially. Gotta see what that means. Hold on a second. I don't know everything, but I'll let you know when I don't know something. Facially means using, the common definition is using or involving the face in a facial manner on its face. So You don't know your enemies. You don't know the faces of your enemy. There you go. There you go. And that's what I was saying to you earlier about they know not how many weapons you have to destroy them because they are only focused on the one that they know of. Hold on. You hear the keystrokes, you know I'm typing. You know what I'm doing. Work with me. I work with you for a long time. So your past actions was you had to defend your achievements. You had to forgive yourself because they don't know, they can't see. They don't know the faces of you as an enemy. Let me put it like that. You know what I'm saying? They too busy listening to the hearsay. You see what I'm saying? All right, so let's get into the advice for the present. Oh, hold on. Because we done had some sevens. We done had some good bit of sevens here. 2 in a row. And the first number of the shuffle was a 7. So 7 is all about seeking answers. It tries to establish a philosophy by which to live and attempts to penetrate the mystery behind its existence, which it has never questioned to this point. You see what I'm saying? Again, that little child mentality running around celebrating that they won the race, never questioned if you let them win or not. We shuffling these cards for the next one. We're going to find out what the present need from you. But you let the celebration continue because the people, like attracts like. So the people closest to that celebration, they need to see that. It's like when you come home and you tell your spouse, or I mean they the youth is telling your spouse that they just beat you in the race or the game or whatever. You know, you see how they light up and they enjoy that moment too. They needed that moment too for some reason. So you can't destroy that moment because it benefits the greater whole. Allow it to be. You bigger than that and they'll never know it. It's your next week, people. Why that 7? Pasha Paro. The Tarot Files. You know someone that needs to hear this. Make sure you share that link. Hit the subscribe button yourself. Hit that notification bell. Because I ain't the one that get on here and talk about, I come on at 6, 9, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nah, I come on when I want. Some days it's now, some days it's later, some days it's early. Sometimes I'm up first thing in the AM. You just going to get the notification because you're going to hit the bell and let me be. So where we at? We at 8:31. All right, cool. So that's 4. That's 12. That's 3. So now we got a message from the coin on the deck. on, give me a second. You know what I'm doing. I'm trying to make sure you can see. So, you know the coins, it's about your finances, your money, property, right? You're dealing with some earth signs. You know, Virgo's all in the house here. You know what I'm saying? All my Virgos stand up. I know your pain. So psychological, right? Right? Page of Pentacles is a person providing hopes, talent, and what we getting into right now is your advice for the present. You see what I'm saying? It's what you need to know now. All right now. So, person providing hopes, a talented one who has great potential, master of gold hands. Remember a couple weeks back, that's how you get your Midas touch. You keep tuning in to why that 7. Why? Because we netting 7. 7 what? Damn, there go that 7 again. 7 figures? You got to start there. Anything less in life will be uncivilized, especially in today's market. Understand? How you get there? You got to control your emotions. You got to be on your shit. That's why you're here. Thank you for tuning the replay. So, master of gold hands. Perfectly working mind. Perfectly working mind. Student is able to use knowledge in practice. Look. I got a saying for that. Let me get you on the notes while I type it in for you. You can say it with me. Matter of fact, type this in on your Facebook page feed. You know what I'm saying? The hardest, because you know they out there cloning you anyway. And then they don't tell the other people where they get the source from, because they want to keep you a secret. See, that's the manipulation. They want to be the authority. But the hardest part of having any wisdom, like I told you where I got mine from. What? I said it's really simple. Everything reduces to the law of attraction. I see equations, not variables. I told you what the source was. That's why they say mathematics is the language of the gods. See, I'm a creator. Mathematics is the language of the gods. So, the hardest part of having any wisdom is constantly remaining disciplined. There you go. To the knowledge. You see what I mean? Like, how many times you got people talking about all this knowledge and they never use it? You see what I mean? That might be why they don't really like you, because you're disciplined. You're using the knowledge, and they don't understand why you're different. Instead of, so forgive yourself for being different, because you on a path that they may or may not be trying to reach. All right. So the hardest part of having any wisdom is constantly remaining disciplined to the knowledge. The event is the attainment of a profession, skills in some activity, improvement of skills or talents. So you're gonna have a skill increase if you stay true to yourself and not let other people tell you you're not perfect. You see what I mean? Because that's what people do. This is why I go back to this. You see how you gotta fight them off because they so busy. You climbing up the ladder of skill level. You climbing up the ladder of your profession. You reach the level up here. They want to tell you, and you're not all the way up top yet. You're not all the way up top yet. You just on like row 3. But you got them down here saying, man, why you gonna go try to do that? Or look at him or her trying to start that. When did you become what are you, stocks, tarot cards, you 300 pounds. Why are you playing basketball? You see what I'm saying? You just starting to do something that you were gonna be great at in the future. But if you allow and embrace their illusion, if you forgive their sin, you will become sin with them. Let's get back to it. So the business representatives of financial structures, minor business, having strong fundamentals, development to a large one has a tendency to develop develop a driving license, sometimes attendance of foreign language courses. Bam! Not only can they not see you speaking a foreign language, so what's going on is, all right, look, check it out. And that's exactly what's going on. So you climb up, right? You climb up out of the situation. See what I mean? You started here. You got all these tools. You invested in yourself, whether that's books, learning, equipment, whatever. You got all this stuff and you don't even know what the fuck to do with it yet. You got people in your ear telling you ain't gonna be shit still. The fuck you doing that for? Why would you even try that? You had to fight that bullshit off. You climbed up the levels. And now you're to a point where, look at you. Isolation is the most highest incubation. You see, he in there working on his shit. And now they don't see you at all. And when you do come back to talk to them, you're speaking a different language to them. And they don't understand the language, and they don't realize they could benefit from learning the language. So not only can they not see the many faces of you, they do not understand the words you speak either. So the relationship is the birth of strong feelings, because you gotta be strong to be Virgo and stay in hermit mode, isolated from others working on your shit, and not feel the FOMO, the fear of missing out of someone else's bullshit. Keep working on your grind. The grind don't stop. So a relationship is the birth of strong feelings. Relationship which has future. Everything according to plan. Stick to your plan. That's why I don't do titles. That's why I have commitment issues, some will say. I don't commit. But when I meet people, I always tell them this. I'm going to help you before I leave you. And it's only up to you to see how. And I have to leave you. I can't stay. Because there's others I'm supposed to help after you. So when Pasha come, Pasha go. Don't take it personal. All right, so advice or health, not bad. Possible problems with blood, veins, tendons, calluses. You see, that's what infection is. It said possible problems. It's up to you. The choice is yours. right? It depends on how you handle the lies of manipulation. If the blood, the life energy, the flow of your plan is gonna be corrupted, it's gonna become sinful, it's gonna be deceased. This is why you got tough choices to make. This is why the hardest part of having any wisdom is to constantly remain disciplined to the knowledge, because only everything you ever dreamed of depends on what you do now. So the advice is to learn some handicraft, obtain additional education, and the warning is not to engage in a concrete activity. Man, you see the continuation. This is your life. This is your growth. This is why you're here with Why That 7. And the result is you should be able to speak up, show one's abilities. You see what I'm saying? I hope you can read that. I try to make it small but bold enough for you to see. Go ahead and check that out. That's where we at now. We great get into your present feelings and ideas. Posh Power Why That 7. Thank you for tuning in the replay. This your life, ain't it? I know. Don't hurt them kids, man. That's child abuse. They don't understand your language. They can't see all the faces you're coming from. So instead of frustrating yourself by insanity, keep trying to do the same thing over and over, expecting something different to happen. Give it to them once. After that, you did your part. It's another person out there that if you give it to them once, they're going to give you everything in return. And that's what you really want. Because like attracts like, you're just looking for the truth. You shouldn't have to manipulate another person. That just means they not who you're looking for. Be patient. The truth will come. All right, so we got a 9 and an 8. 17, that's an 8. That's an infinity. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let me get it on the screen for you so you can see. And you can't make this stuff up though, but you got another 7 people. 7, 7, 7. I'm just saying. We're gonna go back in the book and speak some more on 7 because apparently you need to come out. All right. Oh, let me get it on the screen for you. Sometimes So this is what you're working with in your present feelings and ideas. You got another 7. This is 7 of Swords. And what that's talking about is the Lord of unstable effort. Yo, that's a lot, right? The Lord of unstable effort. Unstable effort. See, there's another saying I got for that. I got that from like Leaders Eat Last. That's a good book. You should check it out. But what it takes to win is unsustainable. Instead, focus on being able to play forever. See? Like we were just talking about. You go out there, you run that 100-yard dash, you blow that little kid away, they crushed, they never grow up to become a football star. You win. But when you get older and you got a walker, they gonna blow past you one day. Because what it takes to win today is unsustainable. See, when you the magician and you have all the tools, some of them might not work. When you the mechanic trying to fix that problem, you might come with the screwdriver and need a wrench. But that doesn't mean you give up. You return with the wrench. You go and get the ratchet. You got the hammer. You see what I'm saying? They won, but winning is unsustainable because you play to be able to play forever. So you had to make sure that little kid had confidence, that little kid mindset had confidence to even want to be in your presence again. Because if you're not careful and you destroy that confidence, they will avoid you. And you won't be able to play no more. They'll take their ball and they'll go home. Because you avoided them. Or they're avoiding you, rather. Because you're crushing them. So be careful about being so thirsty to win. Because nobody will want to play with you. So learn to be able to play forever. And that gives you a fork in the road of choices of illusion. Do you even care? Because the hermit mode, you're going to be in there with yourself, working on your own craft anyway, doing your own thing. So you really don't care if they there or not. Your level of playing forever, you're going to be by yourself anyway. That's actually how you prefer it. So the illusions, the weapons used against you don't affect you. The hearsay, the spreading of the rumors, it doesn't matter to you because it just weeds out all the other, it saves you time. It weeds out all the other people you might have wasted time with trying to entertain an interview. Because they're going to avoid you with the people that's avoiding you because they're of like and similar energy that would be crushed by the presence of your vibration. Again, don't kill the snake. Let the snake show you all the other snakes. It saves you time. It's very efficient that way. Matter of fact, if you got a new group, bring some old snakes to the group and see how they react and respond to the presence of the snake you brought to the group. That's only snaking on you, though. They're not snaking any other way. They just snaking about you. Bring them to the group and see how they react with that snake. And if they hit it off, you know what you got. Like attracts like. You'll start to see them doing the same patterns, the same things. Why? Because they are the same frequency. So you got all the tools. You get through the chaos of what they trying to feed you with. You focused on your goal. You celebrating. You fighting all the people trying to cut you down, trying to trip you up mentally, want you to remain on the level that they on. So you're okay with leaving it all behind. You're going to work on your goal. Matter of fact, I mean, when we look at this card here, are those teeth? I mean, did he take the gator teeth and make it part of the ornamentation while he working on the craft? I mean, they are missing some in the front there. I don't know. See what I mean? Souvenirs, maybe. Mementos. And then you get to the point where this is where the situation is headed. All right. Or excuse me, the present feelings and ideas. So what it takes to win is unsustainable. Instead, focused on being able to play forever. Now, the general meaning of the Seven of Swords is theft, disappearance, following necessity to take from the situation what belongs to you. You see what I mean? And that's forgiving, because sometimes what you taking from the situation, sometimes the only thing that belongs to you of the situation is you yourself. Take yourself back. Take back control of yourself. Excuse me. You see, because they got you right now. They got you mentally. They got you going their dreams. I mean, this is what everybody's talking about when they say they want to get rid of they want to be their own boss. They want to not have to go to work anymore. How do you do that? There's many different ways. There's many different tools. You know? And if you really feel that way about people, Virgo, where you go in hermit mode, you can't have a business that you're going to have to be constantly dealing with people, because you're going to have days, weeks, and months where you don't feel like being bothered with people. And how's that going to affect your funding? So you either got to put yourself in a position where you're so skillful at your craft that while somebody else is charging $50, you can charge $500, $5,000. So you only got to do one for every 10 or 100 that they would need to do, which means that you only need to deal with 1% to 10% of the people that they would need to. That might help you out. You just got to be really good. That'll help you out, allow you to be you, because you don't really want to be involved with that shit anyway. Or to the point where I'm at, where I'm showing people how you can have financial freedom without any customers. Period. You see what I'm saying? That's the evolution of this, but you got to know who you are first and accept that and take yourself back. Because what it takes to win is unsustainable. So the business is theft in production, black studies, money laundering, shell companies. Right? The relationship is surrendered to seductions. That's your danger point. I translated that earlier as forgiving sin. All right? So double life, meaning you got to live two-faced. You go to work, you being all this person. You know what I mean? I'm the type like this, man. I remember being on the floor, whether that was at the, you're not supposed to, whether you're at the call center or at your production, and you're not supposed to have your phones out, they say. But I mean, you grown, right? So you know what you're doing well enough to use your phone and do what you do. Maybe you gotta check something. Maybe your family got a situation. They want you to lose calm with your family. Hold on. So sometimes you be on your phone and the supervisor come out. I'm seeing people try to tuck their phones to the point where they drop them, trying to get them in the pocket so fast. I'm just still sitting there like, because the truth is, I'm on my phone. The truth is, my work is getting done. My process is in process. I had a minute. That's the truth. What I'm gonna pretend? What I'm gonna pretend that I'm not on the phone for? How many of y'all got people talking to you about somebody else right now, talking about, yeah, I pretend just to, associate, to get along with them just because it's that, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And you don't realize that's fake. That means you fake too. That's why you forgiving that sin, because it's a sin you can relate to, being fake around others. You see what I'm saying? That's how the energy works. This grown shit here. Why that 7? We all want to come up. So you living that double life. You see what I'm saying? This your present feelings and ideas. You didn't realize this before. Or they didn't realize this before you. So it depends on what side of the coin you are. Either you were the truth coming in the room, or you're the room the truth came into. Contrive in front of each other the collection and tracing of compromising, sometimes secret meetings, however, not infidelity. See what I'm saying? The health is hidden course of the disease. The illusion, right? Corrupting the relationship of the body of cells. Undiagnosed illness, through despite everything, the patient is getting better. You see what I'm saying? Psychological characteristics: a nimble person, funny, determined, likes to pretend, more naive than he actually is. That's the 48 laws of power. Play the fool. Then you go home and you put your hands up and you create that frequency, and all the storage just stand up and float in the sky. And the birds just sit there and watch and don't say shit, waiting for your emotion. That's your vibration. That's your magnetic field. That's your frequency. The advice is quietly finish your own work. You see what I'm saying? Go back in here with it. Go back here with it. That's all you need. Go within yourself. Work on yourself. Then you gonna come out like fucking the Neo on the Matrix and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And the result is dear ones won't turn away from you. If you will operate secretly, this card shows great possibility of theft. Okay? So, like attracts like. Like I said, if you gotta manipulate them, they not for you. You wasting your energy so that you can say you got a friend that in the end is only gonna snake you anyway. So don't forgive sin again, and don't be fooled by imposters. Play the fool like the 48 laws. almost done here. We only got 2 more cards. I appreciate your time. This is you next week. I don't want to hear, how much time this took. If you got to come back and watch another part of it tomorrow, that's fine. Because how many hours is in a week? How you want me to go through all of that time in 10 minutes? Oh, you like sin. You like shortcuts. You don't want the whole truth. You want a partial. I understand. That's not what you're going to get here, Y97. You ain't never got a partial at Y97. You ain't never got a half. You always got a whole. Because we keep it 0. We keep it 0. See, when I said whole, you thought I won. You thought I meant 1. I'm talking 0. That's infinity. That's the whole. We keep it whole. Truth. We talk about it all. The whole thing. We not focused on variables. We on the whole equation. Hit that like button. If you want the whole thing. Because right now they trying to figure out how to steal it from you. They say, yo, even though you just try to give it to them, you just try to teach it to them, you put it in their hand, they got to tell the others how they beat you. And then they going to celebrate not realizing you gave it to them. Because you wanted them to have it because they need that to build their community. See, the way the Most High works is he going to use everybody. This is why I say that everybody works for me as long as they do them. He going to use, this is why I understand why people be like the devil versus God. Because in this case, in that case, right, did the Most High not allow the devil, if you want to talk about it in such terms, to come in and corrupt that person's mind? To put them in a state of mind where they thought they were beating you, because maybe if they didn't, if it didn't appeal to them in a way of they were getting over on you, they would have never had wanted it. So the Most High had to, yo, Dev, go ahead down there and handle that for me. That's what I need you to do. Here's the play. Ready? Break. And the devil went down there and said, fucking got into some illusions all in that motherfucker. Got some hearsay. You see what I'm saying? Didn't know what the fuck you was walking into. Just knew you was set up to go get that shit. You got it. You started celebrating. You told everybody. And you didn't even realize that was the whole fucking plan from the beginning. Chess player, not checkers. Because now you're more eager because you about your business. Check out the breakdown of the etymology of the word business. Now you're more eager to do it and become good at it so that you can say, you see what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate because it's not a bad thing. It's just how it had to happen. It's for the greater good of the world. At the same time, it defines that person's character, and this is why all great things must come to an end. I was telling a story, and I remembered I got distracted in the story. It wasn't the right time to finish it then. It's always the perfect day. But I was telling the fam, you guys, my peeps, about this pep, how I got terminated from Discover Financial for caring about someone else's life at a moment where life or death was uncertain at work for that person. And I said how I told, check back a couple of videos. I told you how they terminated me 2 hours later after saying for insubordination after I said I wouldn't return. You know, I didn't say I wouldn't. I just said we're all asked me to get back on the phones when I was working in the banking credit card world. And I said, we're all concerned. It was me and 30 other people standing around at the moment concerned about, at the time I still used the word friend. I wasn't as high in the conscious level as I am now. So I'll say we were all concerned about a friend's life that had just fell out with a seizure in a conference room with no medical history of seizures or anything like that. So it was very concerning. And they knew that everybody would follow my lead, so they came and told me to get back on the phones because that would be like only having to say it once because everybody would do what I would do. What they didn't expect, because they didn't know the many faces of me as their enemy, my response was, we're all concerned about a life here in case you're not, which was the truth. Truth hurt their feelings. And 2 hours later, they were, you know, I was being escorted out the building at the time. So you a lot of you go through life and you learn these lessons about what happened to you when you help others, because for 6 years you took care of everybody in that building, made sure that they had what was best for them. And as many people came to you for help, nobody stood up for you when they came to walk you out the door. But that's not what's important. What's important is that 3 weeks later, literally, I get a phone call saying, hey, you know that supervisor that got you fired was going down a flight of stairs in the stairway by herself. Nobody else in the whole stairway. And somehow she managed to fall down a flight of stairs. She's going to be out for a while. And I used to have fear, because that's what happens to people around me all the time. Or you get a call that so-and-so's been in a car accident. They're going to be down for 6 to 8 months. And I used to wonder, did I do that? Or did the energies that accompany my presence respond for the way they made me feel? And what I realized is I had to really become disciplined in being neutral. Because anytime I get above or below neutral, shit happens to those people around me. So I would rather be alone than to have to question, why didn't I leave? Because they couldn't see what they were dealing with, and they didn't speak my language. I cannot fault them forever. Part of it was my responsibility to know they knew not. All right, let's get back into the next card, where the situation is going. All right, 10. All right. Ready to talk about some freedom stuff here. But I didn't forget. I did momentarily, but I remembered we got to go a little deeper into 7 to see what that was about, because you got a lot of 7s popping up. I mean, I think it was 3 in a row. Well, you had a page of coins in the middle there, but otherwise you had 3 7s. me get this on the screen for y'all. And then we're going to hit this book on a 7. So, because solitude is necessary for analysis. Now, see, that's a powerful statement all by itself, even though it's a comma right there and it goes on. Solitude is necessary for analysis. Whenever you run an experiment, like I do a lot of project management. I'm kind of excited right now. A project I'm working on is clearing $1 million. And why that's important to me is because when a company reaches a large size where they capture most of their market share, there's no more room for growth. And the only way to put more profit on the board is to eat away at itself. They start cutting things like, oh, cut this, cut that, cut funding for this, oh, cut these 5,000 people. And then they say, oh, we saved $5 million. We're going to consider that profit. So I get excited by stuff like, oh, we captured $1 million. That means I secured $1 million in salaries for our plant. You see what I'm saying? That's things I get excited about. So you don't have to get rid of $1 million worth of people. Because poor leadership manipulates the people to grow the money. And you know there's all different definitions for money. But great leadership manipulates the money to grow the people. You see this? You see this investment? You see what you're watching? You have no idea what this costs me. Not just financially, but time, research. I'm manipulating the money to grow the people. At least you can do is share it. So, when you're doing experiments, you have this thing called a control group. And then over here, you got your experimenter group. But what you know about both of those groups is you had to isolate them for analysis. That's why isolation is incubation, because you got to be by yourself to find yourself. Otherwise, you're going to become all the chaos around you to some degree. So the 7 feels the need to spend time alone, away from crowds, in touch with nature. It looks for friendship with those of an elevated consciousness that can match its own. You see what I'm saying? That's why you see the 7G. It's levels to this shit. All right, so now you got the 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords is the Lord of Defeat. See, this is where the situation is heading. Because winning is unsustainable unless you make that right choice. So at the same time, the general meaning of the card is very expensive victory. Victory reached through a great devotion. See, again, what's your cost of ownership of what you want in life? Be prepared. Let me put it like that. Be prepared to pay the full cost of ownership of your actions, of your decisions, of your choices. You see what I'm saying? You can't blame nobody but yourself for what's about to happen. So the events is the end of the fight with the dual result. If it is victory, then possible returnance to the situation, not final victory. You see what I'm saying? Because when you win, if you win this battle and you don't completely destroy them, they will return. So is the battle worth it? Because otherwise you will need to destroy them. And that's where you realize it's not their fault. They can't see or speak your language. So don't destroy them. At least as I was saying earlier. Because other people need them. So the business is the one which demands rotations that are fast or as fast as possible, or fast earnings and quick retirement out of the market. This is where I was talking about earlier at the core. Remember it was saying quickness, ability to persuade, and resourcefulness. So I'll read that again. The one who demands rotations that are as fast as possible, or fast earnings and quick retirement out of the market. One day companies. And it says pyramids. But when they say pyramids right now, after what we've been talking about, I see that as being your pyramid structure. The leadership at the top. The manipulation or non-manipulation of people to grow the people via manipulation of the money, or you growing the money through the manipulation of the people. Installation of the latest technologies. You see what I'm saying? Remember, technology is grammar. So if it's a foreign language to you, you may need to install the latest technology. Big expenditure, but low income. You see what I'm saying? What's your cost of ownership of what you want? You might have to let everything else go. You see? Because now you control nature. And when you come back to that problem, balancing swords in the air without holding them, this will be the result. But they should have never challenged you in the beginning. They didn't think you were who you are because of the illusions that was given to them by others who didn't realize that you allowed them to win only to maintain your overall goal of securing levels for people to climb up. You invested in them, you tweaked their position, and they think they got over on you. And they spread that illusion of victory. So this is how that domino falls. But just stay to yourself, keep working on yourself. They don't know the many faces of you. So the relationship is wish to conquer partner by any means, though later follows dissatisfaction. Process is better than result. I've been saying that. Do not destroy them. You will be tempted to crush them because how dare they? How dare they? Forgive yourself of their insults. Because you will be satisfied for the moment while they are like that on the card. But later you realize the damage you've done to the community by destroying a whole rung of the ladder that is needed for the many to reach the top. Do not fall to your ego. Do not allow someone to tell you you are less than perfect and it's not always the perfect day. So the health is to save by any means without paying attention to consequences. Like I said, forgive yourself from that situation. Advice is finished works until the victory. Again, just go back and keep working on yourself. Keep working on your craft, your talents. You know, Virgos, get to the point where you don't need any customers. Get to the point where you don't need any people because you know how they do you. Because you're so giving. And you're giving because you're investing and they can't see that and they don't speak your language. So you know how that affects you. And you want to destroy them and you can destroy them and you're very capable of, and they won't even see it coming, but don't do it. Because they don't operate on the levels of energetic playing fields that you thrive in. They may not even be aware of its existence. You will be satisfied temporarily, but you're not going to feel good about it for long. Just remain neutral. Go watch the video on neutrality. Why that 7? All right. So warning is the price of victory is too high. Like I said, if you destroy, you're going to satisfy yourself by destroying them, but in doing that, you're going to cripple the community that you're working so hard to build. Let them have the moment. So the result is efforts are not worth the result. And that's just redundant on what we've been saying this whole time. All right. So we got one more card, the advice for the future. Okay. Just remember to be prepared for the full cost of ownership. And that's really what it is. Let me get this last card out here for you. This is your next week. This is your next week. 7th through the 13th. I'm saying, this is what you need. This is what you're getting early for. So you can be aware. So you can be conscious. They don't like that word. You want a personal reading? I mean, we can get to what's personally going on with you and give you that accurate energy translations. You know, hit me up for your entertainment purposes only. All right, so 9, 25, 7, 16, 7, another 7. A lot of 7's popping off today. And we get a 6. All right, hold on. Let me get on the screen for you. We'll run through this real quick. I know y'all got to get up tomorrow, go get some money. Oh, what I do? Look, I messed up. Oh. All right, give me a second. So you got the Six of Cups, and right now that's the Lord of Pleasure. Okay, you got that memories, the memories. That's all I have, right? Nostalgia. Okay, so meaning with old friends, transience of something. All right. So advice for the future is the businesses that help comes from the past, from old friends, beginning of stability, good income, rise. See what I'm saying? Rise. Because if you destroy that ladder rung, they can't. The other people can't climb up, or it won't be as easy for them. The cost of your victory won't be worth it. Remember? So, relationship is long lasting. Relationship from school bench. Gentle friendly love. Strong marriage as a rule. Put no passion. Very nice meeting with old friends, right? You see? They real comfortable. They look like they know each other. So the health is good in general. Bad if there are complications after diseases in the childhood. Now remember, disease is sin. And remember, we was just talking about the childlike mind. So you can be in good health if you make the right choices. But if you act like a child, your ass could get hurt. Right? Don't touch the stove. But you want to touch the stove. They told you it was hot, but you don't know if it's hot or not until you touch it. You see what I'm saying? Don't be a child. Don't have a child mind all your life. Psychological characteristics is young in the soul, a little bit naive, infantile. You see what I mean? That's the danger. So the advice is ask friends for help. Ones whom you haven't seen in a long time. Because if you are on the other side of the coin, you may have been surrounded by people that's manipulating your mind for so long that you've lost sight of the truth. And maybe some of your crew from the past will help remind you of that, so that you can get back on the right path. So the warning is, do not fall into nostalgia. Do not live in the memories. The result is you will have to look at your past. So maybe you're not really going back and calling them. Maybe you got to go back to the past of what you dreamed of being when you was young. And say to yourself, self, this might be your old self. Talking to your new self, saying, yo, self, you remember you always said you wanted to be this when you growing up. Why are you not doing that? You knew that's what you really wanted when you was young, because not enough people had talked you out of it yet. You were in tune with yourself. Before you allowed others to come in and manipulate you, corrupt you. Now you feeling like you're in pain and you don't know why you're hurting. You're in the hospital or visiting a clinic. You need therapy because of the lies and the manipulation. Take yourself back. Pasha Pyro, YNet7.